Hello and welcome back to the Round Number One YouTube channel. This is Michael speaking. Now, today's episode is not going to be that long, but it's going to be a loaded episode. First, I'm going to break down the 2026 Hall of Fame, the inductees, what I approve of, and what I absolutely don't. Then I'm going to give you my WrestleMania 42 predictions. So let's start with the inductees. And I'm not using WWE's headliner label for Stephanie McMahon and AJ Styles. I'm talking about the class as a whole. So we have Stephanie McMahon, AJ Styles, Demolition, Dennis Rodman, who's going to the celebrity wing. We got Psycho Sid, Bad News Brown, the Immortal Moment, which is going to be Hogan versus Andre from WrestleMania 3. Now, let's get into the real conversation. AJ Styles, absolutely deserving. AJ Styles is a generational performer, a global draw, one of the most consistent in-ring talents of the last 20 years. When AJ Styles was advertised for Madison Square Garden, people bought tickets. That's not hype, that's history. He belongs in the Hall of Fame, no debate, even after a year, even after a few months into his retirement. Demolition, long overdue, and thankfully alive to enjoy it. Demolition was tag team of their era, record-setting champions. There were merch movers. They had a look, a theme, a presence. Everything about them clicked. And here's something I'm genuinely happy about. WWE is finally inducting them while both Axe and Smash are still alive. That matters. Too many legends get honored only after they're gone. Demolition gets to stand on that stage, hear that ovation, and receive their flowers in real time. This is one of the few things WWE got right this year. Next up, Psycho Sid, who is a superstar who deserved his moment while alive. Sid was a two-time WWF champion, two-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, a legitimate main eventer in two major companies. He had a presence you couldn't ignore. And like Vader, Sid openly talked about wanting his Hall of Fame moment while he was still alive. He wanted his family there. He wanted that closure. He wanted that respect. And he didn't get it. Whether that was a Vince McMahon call or people under him refusing to challenge the system, the result is the same. Another legend honored only after he passed away. And that's not a tribute, that's a failure, and exposes a pattern that WWE still hasn't fixed. So next up, Bad News Brown. He is a legend that deserved better. Bad News Brown was a legit judo champion, a legit tough guy, and a legit draw. He was promised things by Vince McMahon, including a rumored world title run that never materialized. He walked away because he refused to be disrespected. And now he's put in the legacy wing where neither he nor his family gets to speak. No microphone, no moment, no story told. It's a safe way for WWE to honor someone without giving them or their family a platform to correct the record. Bad News Brown deserved better than that. And then we have Stephanie McMahon, a corporate induction, not a wrestling one. Let's be honest, nobody ever bought a ticket to Madison Square Garden to see Stephanie McMahon wrestle, cut a promo, or headline anything. She was a TV character, sometimes entertaining, sometimes not, but she was never a draw. Her induction is about corporate legacy, not wrestling legacy. And the revisionist history around her role in the women's revolution is wild. The women wrestling 2-minute matches on Raw weren't being held back by the fans. They were being held back by the system The system that Stephanie was a part of, a system that she benefited from, a system that only changed when public embarrassment forced WWE's hand. She will cry during her speech. That's almost guaranteed. But the question is, what exactly is she crying for? Because the women who fought for that revolution didn't get the same spotlight, and the men who pushed them behind the scenes, like Fit Finley, didn't get the same credit. So let's break down the WrestleMania 42 card for this weekend and go match by match with who should win and who will win, and what each result means for their WWE future. Okay, so for night one, we got Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship. Pat McAfee's going to be in Orton's corner. Who should win? My pick is Cody Rhodes. He's the face of the company. He's the merch mover, the main event friendly babyface, the guy who WWE has been building since WrestleMania 40. Taking the title off him now would be it would be a little backwards, creative wise. Who will win? I think Cody Rhodes will win. I don't think the WWE is putting the belt back on Orton this year. This match is about giving Cody a credible WrestleMania defense, not about a title change. I expect a great match. Pat McAfee will get involved, but Cody will rock out as champion. Then we have the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Who should win? I think Stephanie Vaquer should win. She's been the most consistent in-ring performer in the division in WWE. Let's just say that. She was great in NXT. She brings legitimacy. I should have drank some water before I done this recording. Athleticism and a style WWE desperately needs more women to produce. She's the better wrestler, period. Who will win? I think Liv Morgan will be the one who walks out the champion. If WWE programming this week, it made it obvious, they're pulling the trigger on Liv again. She's over, she's marketable, and she's the emotional pick. This feels like WWE choosing the moment over the better wrestler, but we'll see what happens. As they say in the WWE, anything could happen. Okay, next we have the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. Nia Jackson, Lash Legend are your champions versus Charlotte Flair and Alexis Bliss, Bayley and Lia Valkyria, and the Bella Twins. Who should win? I think Nia Jackson, Lash Legend should win. There's long-term upside in keeping the heel champion strong. They're the only tag team with real momentum going into the show, in my opinion. Who will win? I think Nia Jackson, Lash Legend should win. If the Bellas are fully clear to compete at WrestleMania as a group, they could win for nostalgia and mainstream buzz. But I don't think WWE has really built them up enough for a feel-good moment for that to happen. So the champs retaining is the safest and most logical outcome. And honestly, I don't know why this match wasn't on ESPN. Won't be on ESPN. I think it should be on ESPN. So next up we have Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Who should win? I think Gunther should win. Right now, he's the most protected wrestler in the company. He's going to be a world champion this year, I believe. And he's the long-term investment for WWE. He's the long-term investment for WWE. Who will win the match? I think Gunther will win the match. Rollins right now is in put people over mode. Gunther winning This will mark his biggest singles win of his career after beating John Cena. Then we have Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, unsanctioned match. This will be on ESPN2. Who should win? Jacob Fatu. He's the new attraction. He's the monster. He needs the credibility. Who will win? Drew McIntyre clearly doesn't need to win, in my opinion. Fatu does. And WWE is clearly positioning Fatu as the next Samoan Destroyer. So, okay, next up we have Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and IShow Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. This will be an ESPN2 match. Who should win? The Usos and LA Knight should win. They're the actual wrestlers. They're the ones who need momentum. They're the ones who will still be here the week after WrestleMania. But who will win? Logan's team will win because it's going to be a good layup for PR. ESPN's going to be showing highlight clips on SportsCenter. This is a business decision, not a wrestling one. So let's move on to night 2. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who should win? CM Punk should win. He just won the title. He's the part of the hottest storyline in the company. He's the ratings mover. He's the guy carrying the show right now. Who will win? Oh, I think Roman Reigns should win. This will be the most political match on the card. And why I say that is because WWE loves giving Roman historic WrestleMania wins, and they love protecting Roman's his perception at all costs. This match wasn't built as a generational passing of the torch moment, and WWE's not letting Roman lose in a match that wasn't part of the long-term plan. Punk is hot, but he's not the chosen one to dethrone Roman at WrestleMania. Roman being dethroned at WrestleMania, it's probably something we probably won't see again until probably WrestleMania 43 or WrestleMania 44. Okay, next up, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Who should win? Rhea Ripley should win. She's the face of the women's division. She's the most complete. She's one of the most complete performers WWE has, and she's the one with the long-term upside. Who will win? I think Jade Cargill will win. There are more stories to tell with Jade as champion, and Jade versus Charlotte for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam would be a massive match. Meanwhile, Rhea returning to Raw opens the door for a feud with whoever wins the Women's World Championship, and she definitely has unfinished business with Liv Morgan. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for United States Championship. Who should win? Trick Williams. He's the future. He has the charisma. He's the one fans are connecting with. Who will win? Trick Williams. He's WWE knows they have something special with Trick Williams. So he's gonna win, no doubt, in my opinion. Okay. Just a few more matches. Finn Balor as the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. Who should win? I think Finn Balor should win. A lot of people say that Finn Balor is bulletproof, but to me, Dominic is more bulletproof. He's the champion in AAA and doesn't even have to defend his belt at WrestleMania. If Dominic loses to Demon Balor, nobody's going to panic. Give Balor the win. Send him to AAA for a rematch. Demon Balor would sell tickets in Mexico. Who will win? I think Finn Balor will win. WWE is committed to Dominic long term, but a loss to Demon Balor doesn't really hurt him at all. This is a rare match where The loss actually helps the story between Dominic and Finn. Then we have Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. This will be on the premier ESPN channel. Who should win? In my opinion, Obafemi should win. This is the biggest test of his career. He's the next powerhouse WWE is grooming. Who will win? I think Brock Lesnar will win. WWE is not putting Brock in, I said this before, of Roman, pass the torch mode when especially when SummerSlam is in Minneapolis this year. Like, I think they would want Brock unbeatable going into his hometown stadium. And I just look at this as business, not development. So unfortunately, Oba is going to lose this match. Brock is going to win. Then we have another main channel ESPN match. Unfortunately, if you're in Canada, you will have to watch this on Netflix. TSN will not be airing these special ESPN matches, even though ESPN owns like something like 15% of TSN. So us in Canada, we're out of luck. We have to pay for it and watch it on Netflix. The Intercontinental Championship ladder match, we have Penta, Rey Mysterio versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonald versus Rusev. Who should win? In my opinion, Javon Evans should win. He's the breakout star waiting to happen. This is the perfect environment to elevate him, but who will win, I think, will be Penta. WWE loves long intercontinental title runs, and Penta retaining a ladder match gives him credibility without pinning anybody. So I'll go with Penta. So that brings this episode of round number 1 to an end. Today I gave you my breakdown of the 2026 Hall of Fame, what I like, what I don't like, and then I gave you my WrestleMania 42 predictions. So with that being said, you won't hear from me for the next couple of days. The next upload will come on Saturday, probably like Saturday during the noon hour, with a review of SmackDown and a review of the WWE Hall of Fame, which, oh my God, this thing in Eastern Standard Time is starting at 12 a.m. Saturday morning, and it's probably going to go on for like 3 hours. So it's going to be brutal. I'll probably be asleep by the time Stephanie McMahon gets to the podium to deliver her speech. Anyways, this is Michael of the Round Number One YouTube channel. Drop your comment down below, and I'll see you Saturday afternoon with the next upload. All right, take care. Bye.